Master? The others told me you were home, and I know you enjoy resting in the library after a long journey, so I figured you would be here. I thought I would come to welcome you and ask you how you are. Well, I'm surprised you're back so soon. I was under the impression that your visit was supposed to last through tonight and that you would return tomorrow afternoon. Did you miss me too much to stay away? Sorry, I know I promised that I wouldn't flirt so much, but I can't help it. You were gone for 5 days and I missed you so much. I know, but still, any day without you feels like torture. All I could do was sit around and clean everything over and over again until you returned. I know I didn't have to, but what else was I supposed to do? Just sit and watch the clouds drift across the sky? You know I don't have the patience for that. But enough about what's happened here. How was your visit? Specifically, how was the ball? I know you hate attending them, and I was so worried that you were having a horrible time. I felt terrible that I couldn't come with you and give you excuses to leave whenever you got annoyed by all those desperate suitors begging you for a dance. I know, but that doesn't help to ease my guilt. I'm your maid. Falling ill shouldn't have stopped me from coming with you to an event where you clearly needed me. Oh, were you worried about me? Oh, my darling, how lovely are the words you speak. I'm healed by hearing your concern for me. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Hearing you say that you care for me makes me happy. But I'm not flirting, I'm merely telling the truth. Fine, fine. All completely truthful flirting aside, yes, I feel much better. It took a few days, but I'm over the worst of it. I'll admit to being a bit tired, but that's nothing out of the ordinary in this case. Now quit asking about me. I want to know how you've been. Different, you say? I assume that you mean exhausting, from the sound of your voice. Though you predicted that even before you left the manor. I remember you said many of the suitors vying for your hand in marriage would be there, and that the tensions are rising between many of the noble families that will be in attendance. I assume there was quite a bit of drama to be found. More than a bit? Well then, consider me intrigued. Care to tell me about it? What can I say? I usually go to these events with you and get to see what happens firsthand, so I want to know what I missed. You can call me a gossip if you want, but that won't quench my need to know what I missed. Really? And in the middle of the yard where everyone could see? That must have been quite the sight. Even they should know better than to fight at such a formal event, especially given that they're both still looking for someone to spend the courting season with. Who won? Ah, of course, I should have guessed. Lady Elise would never put up with such fighting, and certainly not within the first hours of everyone arriving. I can only hope that meant the rest of the dance went more smoothly. I trust that she gave them a very stern talking to. I figured so. She's not the type to tolerate that sort of behaviour even for a moment. I'm sure that made for an interesting first few hours. What else happened from there? Now that's been a long while in the making. Those two have been dancing around each other for quite a while now. I'm glad they finally worked up the nerve to ask each other to dance. Really? Well, I suppose that's to be expected. After being so nervous to approach each other, it shouldn't be expected that they're completely at ease with each other immediately. Hopefully, at least they don't trip over each other's feet. Oh, that's rather unfortunate. though it's also a little funny. Of course they did. How ridiculous. You'd think that all of them would have finally learned to read the signs and realised that you're not interested in them. Inviting you to a dance won't change that. I'm not getting angry. I'm just annoyed on your behalf. You shouldn't have to deal with such pathetic attempts at your hand when you aren't even seeking a relationship. I can hardly help it. You have told them time and time again. Yet they treat your rejections as nothing that should dissuade them. I knew I should have come with you. Sickness be damned. If I was there, you wouldn't have had to deal with any of those desperate fools. They should have known much better than to annoy you while I was away from your side. I swear, the next time I see anyone try to pull something like that, I'll tell them exactly what I think of their worthless attempts to persuade you to marry them. What is it, Master? Me? Jealous? I could never be jealous of anyone like that. Oh, my darling, please don't look at me like that. You know I can't lie to you when I'm looking you in the eye. Oh, please stop looking at me. I'm just... Oh, fine. Yes, I'm a little jealous. I hate knowing that you danced with so many people, when you should have been dancing with me. Well, how could I not be? Getting to be so close to you is an honour. It only makes sense that I'd be jealous of anyone taking my spot as your dance partner. Especially if they're wanting to court you. My darling, you can't just say something like that. My heart might just explode with how sweet you are. I'm not being overdramatic. It's the truth. Hearing you say that no one can take my place is enough to make me weak in the knees. Could you say it again for me? Such lovely words, and such a lovely voice. Have I ever mentioned how much I enjoy listening to you? Well, have I ever mentioned how much I enjoyed listening to you say those particular words? Then I'll have to say it more, won't I? Oh, but I suppose that you'll just have to say those words more so I can say it in response. Aw, but you won't say them at least once more so that I might commit them to memory? Because I want to remember them so well that I remember them even in my sleep. Of course I dream of you. It could hardly be called a dream if you weren't there. You're only in my good dreams, of course. I'd never subject you to any nightmares. Why didn't you say so sooner? If you've been having nightmares, my darling, then all you need do is come to my room, and I'll be glad to ward them off. Why? I would never imply such a thing. I was simply offering that you might sleep in my bed with me, so that I could keep any nightmares from reaching you. In fact, given that look of tiredness in your eyes, it might be a wise idea that you and I should go to my room at this very moment, so that you might have a good night's sleep. I'm sure that you're tired from your journey home, and would enjoy the chance to rest. You may say that, but I can see you fighting the urge to yawn. You don't have to stay awake for my sake, you know. If you're tired, I'd prefer that you get some sleep. There's no need to lie. If there's anyone that's able to tell when you're tired, it's me. You should retire for the night. Stubborn as ever, aren't you? Please, allow me to walk you back to your room. I promise I'll still be here to flirt with you more when you've woken up. What if I said that I'd be here to flirt with you and bring you breakfast? And what sort of pastry is it that you're wanting? You drive a hard bargain, but I suppose I can make that work. Now would you please let me escort you to your room? Yes, I know, but it gives me a chance to steal a few more seconds with you. So if you'll let me, I'd like to walk with you. I might be a shameless flirt, but I'm a skilled one, aren't I? At least I assume so, given the smiles I managed to get from you. Fine, as you wish. I'll try to hold my tongue and its sweetened words for the very short walk to your room. But we better be quick in that case. You're too attractive for me to ignore that long. Oh, did I? Then we better leave immediately. Time is limited when it comes to how long I can hold back my adoration for you. Well then, to strike up a new conversation to distract myself from flirting, may I ask how the journey was? I expect that it was long and tiring, but hopefully it wasn't too harsh. That's good. I know that the weather in the northern regions can be fickle this time of year, and I was worried it would cause you trouble. Thankfully, it sounds like that wasn't the case, besides the wind. Master, may I ask you something? You've seemed somewhat distracted since you've returned, and not in the same way you usually are when you're tired. Is there something the matter? Are you sure? You know, if it's something I can help you with, I'll be more than willing to do so. May I at least ask what's got your mind so occupied? A rumour? What sort of rumour could get so tangled in your thoughts like this? That's unusual. You've never cared about rumours regarding royalty or nobility before. What exactly was it regarding? The lost princess to the throne? I don't... what do you mean? Have they been found? Then what exactly was the rumour? Eloped? They suspect that the princess had a lover and abdicated the throne to be with them? That is... it's certainly a possibility, I suppose. I mean, I'm a bit caught off guard. It's been some years since the princess has disappeared. I didn't expect that anyone would still be talking about her, least of all yourself. I thought most people had assumed that they had died. What's bringing this rumour about? A look-alike? But how would they know what the princess looks like? A description from the mouth of a gossip can only do so much. Not that I'm calling you a gossip, my darling. I know you rarely enjoy participating in gossip, which is why I'm so confused that you're speaking of such a rumour. Oh, yes, that's true. A painting would provide a much better reference, but surely there's no other way that a full-size portrait was available? I mean, that is to say, I'm certain that there was no portrait of the former princess in the Greenfield estate. That would be rather odd. Lady Elise commissioned a new portrait? That sounds nice, but I fail to see what that has to do with the portrait of a lost royal. Really? It was the same artist as the one commissioned for the royal portraits? Are you certain? They showed you the early drafts of the portraits. That sounds very... No, I don't know what the princess looked like, I mean. I don't know why that would be the case. I'm not... You know that I'm not... You make it so hard to lie when you look at me like that. Do I really have to say it? You've already figured it out, haven't you? You're not going to make this easy, are you? But that's one of the many things I adore about you. I'm not stalling. I was just struck by how much I admire you for keeping a level head in this situation. You always look so enchanting when you're determined. Sorry, I can't help it. Flirting with you just comes so naturally to me. But you're right. I'm the lost princess.